Hi, my name is Rich Coles from Productive Project Solutions. So I've managed projects and programs for over 20 years, and clearly over that time I've used my fair share of software. So I was pretty blown away when I first started using Smartsheet, and so much so that now I changed my business, and this is what I do for a living. I help organisations around the world optimise how they work to maximise productive activity and get the job done. So why do I use Smartsheet? Why is it something I have no hesitation in recommending? Well, firstly, it's about the visualization, the dashboards for the management teams. Ultimately, any organisation wants to understand what is the status of what they said they were going to do. Is it on track? And if it's not, where are the challenges? Where do you need to drill down and see what needs attention? So by having a dashboard, you can have that key information in one place, and then you can drill down into individual projects and see what's going on for the ones that you need to look at. Or you can have these views by sub-portfolio, and you can click down and go across to the different teams or departments or categories that you so divide up. And then this demonstrates part of what Smartsheet's so powerful at is its flexibility. So unlike other systems which are predefined, one of the great strengths of Smartsheet is you can design it to be how you want it to be for your teams and for your processes. And this is why I love it. One of my key frustrations when I worked on a PPM tool in a different organisation was after 3 months, having given my requirements and brief, they came back and said, here you go. And to make any changes, it was going to cost a fortune, it was going to delay things, and I was hugely frustrated. With Smartsheet, you can constantly evolve as you go. And again, like any change, making sure that's in a controlled way. But you can continue to evolve and roll out changes. And when you use Control Center, then you've got an ability to roll out changes to future projects or existing projects as well to take on this new capability. In terms of what it offers, so you have your project time plans, the schedules, which is the heart of any project. And historically, you've been forced to use a Gantt chart, which very limited people have access to. And what Smartsheet has done is it enables this to be democratized. And so rather than having people creating in spreadsheets strange project timelines, actually you can have a spreadsheet which is a timeline which turns with a flick of a button into a Gantt chart, or flick of a button it turns into a Kanban board, or it turns into a calendar. And this same project timeline, it has baselines, it has the critical path, it's got the dependencies that you need, and then in this same place you can have additional columns which can have your budget information, you can have all sorts of different information that you require for the project, not just the timings. And then you can add to these lines the information about tasks and have conversations with people about where the work is happening. And you can have at mentions, or you can add attachments to that line, or you can do proofing on that line. So what it means is you're bringing the work to be in the main place where the work is happening on that side. So then by using a template set, you create the documents that project managers require. So you have the project time plan, which I've already spoken about. You have your RAID log, so risk, actions, issues, and decisions, or depending on the language, it could be dependencies and assumptions. However you choose to have your RAID log, you can design it the way you want it for your business. And then you can have your status reports, and then you can have your learnings log, your change log, and all this information can then feed up into your dashboard, and then you bring in your budget information, and you've got all the information that's required to manage your project effectively, which is where the work is happening. So bring people to where that work is happening. Then typically in an organisation, you're managing multiple projects. So if the projects are set up in the same way and you have this template set, every time the projects are set up in the same way. And it means that stakeholders, either who are working on a project or who are reviewing the project, always get to see the same information in the same way, and it's faster and quicker for everyone involved in that project. So you get working in that way, and yes, you can make small customizations where you want to, but the recommendation is people work in a common way, it's faster for everyone. And by having it set up in a common way, it means that information can be consolidated and rolled up to a portfolio view so much more easily, and it means then you know where to find that information right first time. So when it comes to sharing within Smartsheet, this is again something which is incredibly powerful and easy to do. So to add sharing, you can simply click on it and say share and choose the people you want to add it to, and subject to any restrictions within the organisation, it is then shared with those individuals. No longer is this the piece of having to go to IT and get checks and all these various things, unless clearly you have security measures in place in your organisation which require you to get authorised domains added to a list for you to share that information. So then in that project set, you have your dashboards as well. And that dashboard saves you having to create these weekly status reports because you provide the information in and the information is drawn directly from the project. So no more of that, okay, where's the PowerPoint template and the plan that I've got? Within the plans within Smartsheet, what we do is we create a dashboard and it just pulls the live information from the various elements of your project, and you've got a 24/7 live dashboard, which again can be viewed at any moment in time to see what the current status is. So it drives a completely different way of working, complete transparency into ways of working on that side. And for me, transparency is one of the best ways of what it drives, and also the efficiency. So it means that you're focusing on what needs to be done, not following around and trying to have meetings for the sake of updating the team, but rather focusing on what work needs unblocking, what work needs the focus. Because by sending out update requests in advance of any meeting or any gathering, you have that information there and you can save so much time. And that's how I was able to excel managing a project with Smartsheet, because the time it saved me and the time it saved the wider team was absolutely phenomenal on that side. So Smartsheet is remarkably flexible, and it's the tool which I recommend to any organisation on the basis that it works, it's quick and easy to set up. And at Productive, we pride ourselves on the speed of our execution. We take our expertise from running projects and programs in a global organisation, and we take that and we have the template set which works across sectors, across geographies, and it just works for teams. And typically we can get these up and running within 30 days, that you'll be up and running with our template set, and it requires very little modification. However, it can be modified as you so need it. So if you're looking to upgrade how you deliver your projects and programs, get in touch. We can absolutely help you do that, and you'll be remarkably amazed how much more cost effective it is by doing it this way versus the time you lose, the time you waste, the money you spend having poorly executed projects. Is such a valuable investment. So if you want to get on with your execution, turn that strategy into delivery, get in touch and we will help you maximize productive activity and deliver your projects more effectively going forwards. Thanks for now. I look forward to being in touch.